et la catégorie GR, donc des prototypes. On a le prototype avec au moins un kilowattheure au volant, c'est donc une bonne preuve, ça ce sont les prototypes, la catégorie reine de l'Alpine Le Mans Series. Une seule marque représentée, Oreca. Je ne vois pas que ce soit la seule qui est homologuée de voitures électriques. Et il y a également Ligier, mais Oreca a une situation de monopole, ça devrait changer à partir de 2028, puisque ça changera d'ailleurs.
Welcome to a misty morning at Spa-Francorchamps as we get ready for the second race of the weekend, Heat 4 of the 2026 Ligier European Series. After a rainy day yesterday, or rainy overnight into yesterday, we've had a relatively clear, dry start to the morning, but that brings its own problems. Martin Haven and Graham Goodwin trackside here at Spa-Francorchamps, and you can see the mist hanging in the valley. Now this is water that's in the ground and in the trees, and the warmth of the sun is now starting to make that rise. And as you can see from these slightly long camera shots, it's fairly misty. Now Graham, in terms of visibility on the track for the drivers, it's probably slightly better than these shots make it look on a long lens, but the critical condition is whether or not marshals can see a post in either direction, because if they can't, the race director will not start the race.
Completely correct. Good morning, everybody. I tell you, by the way, once this mist clears, it is a glorious morning higher up. It's just sitting.
It's always sunny higher up.
It's always sunny in Philadelphia. Yeah, but that's why we're seeing the course car circulating. They'll be assessing conditions, feeding back to race control. They'll be watching the cameras that they've got, and they've got more than we have. For the most part, you can, from these pictures, see from post to post, but there will be no risk taken. It's Ligier European Series, of course, this morning, and be following up with a 4-hour race for the European Le Mans Series later. So a glorious morning is promised, but it's probably going to take us a little while to get to that glory. But, towards the top of the track, it's a beautiful day. That's an astonishing drone shot.
That's fabulous, isn't it?
The boys have been on the game, haven't they, really, on their game all weekend. And if you've not been following the fun and games from Spa-Francorchamps this weekend, you're in for a real treat, both for the Ligier European Series this morning. It is the drone shot. You can see it absolutely clear at this, the highest level. We're based just middle of that shot, the truck, middle of shot at the moment. That's where we are. But it's when they plunge down into the valley that the issues begin.
And there is a lot of valley here at Spa-Francorchamps as well. So full course yellow all the way around the track. And our field of cars, 26 of them, will be hoping that they are released fairly soon. You can see tyre trolleys being driven up the old Formula 1 pit lane, down the old start-finish straight, because the cars have come from their collecting area and they'll be serviced in the pit lane itself. This second race of the weekend, like yesterday's encounter, should be a 1-hour race for our Ligier European Series. And again, you can see the problem at the top of the track, around the pit area, much less forest.
And this is fine.
Here, though, as you come up the Kemmel Straight, the mist is hanging in the trees, and there's no breeze either to help disperse it.
It is all about risk or otherwise, and what you're looking at here are the men and women who are just as important as those on track in terms of the safety. Waiting for the sunshine to break through.
Now, we should have had cars on track already, so we're starting to see a little bit of slip in the timetable. Our European Le Mans Series race should be getting underway in about 2.5 hours' time. The green flag is due to be shown at just before 1 p.m.
Been told that we'll see cars on track in about 5 minutes. So these assessments of conditions pretty much complete by the look of things. Remember again, the power of the Mark 1 human eyeball Very different to these cameras.
Well, to a degree, but of course the drivers aren't looking as far in front. On some of the circuit. On some of the circuit, they are looking a long way ahead because this is a long, fast-flowing track. And even down here at the end of Sector 2, as you come through Campus and Curve Paul Frere, when you start the climb up the hill, you do at least break out of the mist. We are having some technical issues, I'm afraid. Visibility in the commentary booth is not quite as good as visibility would be outside the commentary booth.
Yep.
Keep losing our pictures.
Confirmation, by the way, that they will start this race under the safety car, so that will give the drivers an opportunity to assess the conditions.
Well, it'll give the race control opportunity to assess conditions, because behind the safety car means the clock will start. So what we can't afford to do is just run endlessly late with this, because then that pushes the start of our European Le Mans Series race later, and the curfew at 6 p.m. will remain as hard as ever. So I'm afraid still we have lost our pictures in the booth. So wherever you are watching online, hopefully you're still getting a decent view.
So the latest information is that we should have cars on track very shortly, subject to these conditions improving or stabilising. Remember, some of the camera angles we're seeing here are looking down through the cloud. The race will, by the way, start behind the safety car. With apologies, by the way, we are suffering some difficulties with loss of picture for Martin and I.
Yep. Well, still full course yellow out around the circuit. And this is very much a sort of parallel to how it often rains here at Spa. It can be bone dry in the pit lane. It can be absolutely torrents in rivers running down the track on the other side of the circuit. And because of all the folds in the landscape here, it is very hard to clear unless there is some breeze. Now our course car has headed into the pit lane, and that means presumably that we will send cars out shortly. Now, nothing's gridded at the moment, so we're only seeing the same pictures as you. We don't have any information as to where the cars are, so they'll be still coming from their collecting area. So here we go. Here's the safety car leading the field out. So at the front of it is Team Virage's Brandon McCocken. And again, as they come out of the pit lane, they're sitting there in bright, warm autumn sunshine, thinking, okay, why are we waiting? Well, the answer is, they're going to find out what the answer is very shortly. Once they start to climb the Kemmel Straight, they're heading into the cloud. Now, we left Verviers this morning at 7 a.m. and
it was cloudy there.
It was very cloudy and misty, very misty, and that's in a deep fold in the valley. And then we climbed out of the valley and, oh, hello, beautiful morning. And you can see here banks of fog rolling through the trees and actually rising out of the trees. And there, all of the forest, that's what's creating that cloud. It's the water that fell yesterday and the night before, which is being boiled up by our friend the sun.
That drone shot is the encapsulation of the problem.
Yeah, but that's the dichotomy of Spa, I'm afraid.
But we will see very soon whether or not they deem this to be raceable. The fact the cars have been released says they do believe raceable.
Clock has started, so this is the race. The moment they left the pit lane, the clock started a few minutes later than had been anticipated.
Might say already somewhat more orderly than we were for the Le Mans Cup yesterday.
Best not make those comments. And again, you know, for us, if anything's happening, if there's a pass down here into Beau Rivage, into Bruxelles, we ain't going to see it. Much as the camera lenses are very good in clear conditions, they are slightly stymied by the density of water. And again,
that's probably the most worrying shot of the lot.
Yeah.
But, cars on track, as we say, and it will be 27 cars to start race 2, as it was yesterday. Significant improvement in the numbers, and the one I'm looking for is the Petronol car that was struggling, yesterday, and that car is out there in the hands of Marta Garcia.
Yeah.
Marta did not get a go yesterday. Car failed in the hands of her co-driver, so JS2 R race winner with the Iron Dames, Marta Garcia, is there in that 33 car.
Yeah, that's the dark blue car with the yellowy line highlights. There's the Team Alley racing car just behind car number 69 here. There's the Team Alley Racing are newcomers to Ligier European Series, newcomers to the Michelin Le Mans Cup as well.
And did very well. Faded towards the end of the race, but were sitting for quite a while, weren't they, in a podium position?
Well, qualified second and were in the top 3 before the mid-race pit stops.
Yeah.
So by anybody's yardstick, a very impressive debut for that team. Well, all 27 entrants for this weekend's action are out on track. The race control has asked for the lights to be on, the rain lights to be on. Now, as you can see, the JS2Rs don't have headlights. It is a silhouette body shape, so it is not, for instance, a GT3 car, which would have to have functioning headlights.
Those cars are available in an endurance spec. They do race elsewhere in endurance spec. And there's also, by the way, a development car to GT2 spec for the JS2R with
smoking cars, T17, you can overtake it.
Oh.
Now, didn't see which one that was.
Go.
Now.
Everyone can overtake car 88, everyone can overtake car 88. Car 88, please use F1 pit lane. F1 pit lane for car 88, please.
Okay, so there's the race director.
There's a puncture right there.
Yes, it is. Now, or is it a loose wheel? He's been told to go to the pit lane by the race director.
Car 88, please return to the pit lane. Car 88, please return to the pit lane. Everybody else can overtake car 88. Everyone can overtake car 88.
Now then, we heard him say return to the pit lane. Now, these cars, you know, it is a puncture. The tyre has come completely off the rim, not the rim off the hub. Now, is he going to pit in here? Yes, he is. He's going to go into the downhill pit lane.
This is where they are being serviced.
What a dreadful start to the morning. That is Marcus Turkildsen our pole sitter.
Well, a bit of luck, if that's just a puncture, he can join the back of the queue here.
Yeah, but unfortunately he's gone from first to last and some way back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's very unfortunate. Quite how that happens on a slow formation lap, don't know.
You go ahead, Pedro. Okay, out of T4, I can see not completely clear, but I can see T5, so it looks quite okay. T4-5 improving, copy.
And again, since the new grandstands have been
And
built,
Pedro, increase by 10 kph, please. 10k more, please.
trees have been cut
Okay,
back.
we are already done, so we are already 90-95 now. And T6 and T7 for me, it's good. It's not perfect, but it's okay.
Pedro Cachura, who's feeding back to race control.
And that's a unique insight, actually. I've never heard that before, but this dialogue goes on all the time with the safety car.
Okay, safety car to race control. Go ahead, race control, safety car. T9. After T9 I can see not clearly, but I can see T10, so it looks quite okay for a race start, but not T8, T9, not yet. T8 and T9 is not yet to start.
Right. So that's...
okay, we're still bad at T8, T9, not fit for racing. 8-9, not fit for racing. Copy that. We keep it like this for the moment.
So that's as clear an indication of the scale of the problem. One corner at the moment is preventing us from going green, but completely correct that they should take the view of the hugely experienced safety car driver. Pedro now, of course, servicing not just the ELMS but also the European Le Mans Series, as he has for several years.
And World Endurance Championship as well, so he's the Le Mans Rules Racing safety car driver of choice. Well, there's 88 heading back up to the tail of the pack, so that's very good news indeed. I mean, that's okay. He's lost pole position and will have to try and fight his way through, but at least he's out there, and once he joins the pack, it will be at the tail of the safety car rather than at a strung out group of cars with him several laps behind.
So pretty clearly, visually, the problem is clear, but if you missed the messages we're hearing between safety car and race control, driver being asked to assess conditions and making it clear that pretty much everywhere about from turn 8, turn 9, the track is, if not perfect, but certainly raceable.
The really good news is that there's no water on the track. So there's no spray or anything else. There's no wet rain in the air. Marcus Terkildsen has joined the tail of the field now, so he has closed ranks with everybody else.
This is not representative of the problem. It is the rise and fall of this circuit. We can see as the drone gets higher, look to the back of that shot, and you can see where the mist, the cloud, is hanging in the valley. It's one of the pluses of these classic tracks is the topography, the rise and fall, but this is one of the negatives, particularly with a early morning start like this. The race, as Martin said earlier, that has started. We are taking down 51 minutes to go. Fingers crossed we shouldn't be too far from the point where conditions which are improving and fairly rapidly.
Well, the problem is that this mist that you can see in the distance, this fog coming off the trees, isn't constant. And so it moves, and what may be acceptable on one lap might not be acceptable on the next, and so that's going to be a constant assessment by race control on reports that they're receiving back from each of the marshals posts. And if one of the marshals posts says, okay, I can no longer see another post, then we are back into safety car conditions pretty much immediately. Because above all else, the race director's remit, above and beyond anything to do with competition, is that everybody should go home safely.
Completely correct.
And exactly, that's 100% the view that we would all adhere to, I think. And again, you can see here with our drone shot, it's actually mistier above ground level, above the treetop heights on the Kemmel Straight than it is on the straight itself. So some of the views we're seeing are probably slightly better than what the driver is getting. Some of them are definitely worse. And again, you come up the top here at Les Combes, the road would have gone straight ahead, over the brow, and turning left in the trees there, plunging down the Master Straight, through the Master Kink, past the farmhouse, down to Berneville. But that's a
beautiful shot that shows exactly what we're talking about.
Well, at the top of the picture, top right, that's Bruxelles. That was the corner last lap that Bruno said you couldn't see anything at. Now we can clearly see from 1,000 feet, we can see the track. So that's changed comprehensively in 3 or 4 minutes.
4 minutes and 24 seconds is the safety car lap time at the moment. So that's how quickly that's cleared.
There's some in the queue that are going quite a lot quicker. 4 minutes 20.5 is the current fastest lap from Simone Bianco, who's the man who has inherited pole position in the JS2 Rs.
Right, so
and that's sort of catching up the queue.
What's been noted, by the way, and this would explain that puncture, is contact between Marcus Turkelsen's car 88 and the 93 car.
That's the Petrogol car of Christian Garduño.
So that's the JS P4 car.
Who should have been in front of him. So how do you get a rear puncture from a car that's in front of you? Yeah, okay. Again, you know, weaving, trying to build heat in the brakes, in the tyres for all these cars, because like everybody else, they don't have tyre warmers. That's been a constant. But yeah, that Petrogol car number 93, the stewards are going to, I mean, not sure quite what they're going to see, to be honest.
Well,
they'll be looking at track cameras to try and figure out what happened. They know where it happened, turn 17, so that actually up here will be clear, and there will be a report from the marshal's post of contact between two cars.
12 minutes in, I'm afraid. It's all been under the safety car because of the visibility issues down in the valley. That looks, from our perspective, and that's not the perspective that matters, to be clearing very rapidly. So safety car lights are still on. We will go round at least one more time.
And again, we're not hearing the radio transmissions now, but again, Pedro Cachero, the safety car driver, will be in constant dialogue with the race control room. And again, he may have pointed out that some corners that last time round looked clearer, this time round are suffering from more issues with visibility. But I sort of have a little feeling that maybe one more lap, unless it's really closed down in a couple of places, we could be looking at getting ready to release the field. Now the field, unfortunately, as you can see, is stretching out further and further, but the safety car will slow down, allow them to reach a 2x2 formation.
It gives us an opportunity, by the way, if you're joining us, as many people may be for the first time, this Ligier European Series now been part of the European Le Mans Series package for some years. It's the first step on the ACO racing ladder, mixed class racing. This is the traditional home of the Le Mans family, with all these cars built by Ligier in France, with Ford V6 power. What's happened there? There is a problem.
Yeah.
What's gone on there? I think that is a car there with the headlights, by the way.
That's one of the Pegasus racing cars, and as he spun it, stalled it.
It stopped and has restarted, but that's given us a gap to a gaggle of JS2Rs. Let's hope that doesn't delay the start.
I think that might have been 94 Alain Meyer. No, it was Christoph Weber. Missed my guess.
That's at least given Marcus Turkelsen one extra position. Waiting to see whether or not we get a note that this might restart. That could have delayed it. So it's V6 Ford power in the rear of all these cars, because yes, they're rear mid-engined prototypes, JS P4s, and the JS2Rs, which might look like a front-engine GT car, actually are mid-engined. Two different states of tunes, a more powerful tune for the JS P4s, but very raceable. These JS P4 cars based around the LMP3 Ligier tub. Unique styling and aero.
That was quite a telling shot, wasn't it? There was
no sign that safety car was coming in.
No. Again, that waved yellow flag, there was no sign of cars through the mist in the background. And again, you know, unfortunately, the mist has rolled down, closing down visibility again in a couple of key areas on the track.
I'll keep talking about the Ligier European Series then. What we've seen, by the way, through recent seasons here is teams, Team Virage, who are there in pole position, a great example of it, and drivers making their way through this series up into the Michelin Le Mans Cup, onwards into...
Drivers close the gaps. Drivers close the gaps.
Okay.
That's a sign that...
preparation.
Making their way through to the European Le Mans Series and beyond. Both
safety car will come in this lap. All drivers close the gaps. Safety car in this lap, close the gaps.
So, hammer down, full speed for the safety car. We're about to go racing, Martin Haven.
That's definitely not full speed for the safety car. I've sat alongside Pedro and Yannick Dalmas a number of times. That's a long way shy of full speed for that Porsche.
That is a very capable car, by the way.
Boy, isn't it? And two very capable drivers as well. So the safety car driver has a spotter with him, and he'd be responsible for, you know, wave bys or operating the lights or anything else. But Pedro with the radio communications to our race director, and clearly Graham Borzé is ready for the cars to be released. Now it's really the driver's job to make sure they are nice and close to the car in front, because otherwise you're just giving away time.
Things to watch here. They will be wanting the cars in good order and in grid formation, and critically as they get round to the grid. The race start will be from the F1 pits.
The race has started, so
you're
it will
absolutely
be a safety
right.
car restart.
My apologies,
so
you're completely
correct. It will be line astern and right up the backside of the car in front.
Completely correct, Martin Haven.
So if you're not right up the backside of the car in front, I'm afraid you're prejudicing your race. 40 minutes remain, so we're 20 minutes in, very nearly, and so we're actually not too far away, from starting or releasing the cars to green flag conditions, but B, looking at when and where they might start to make pit stops.
So field will now, with the safety car being pulled away, be under the control of the pole position sitter Brendan McCocken.
So let's just talk about our grid, because Brendan McCocken ahead of Simone Riccitelli, Mika Abrahams third for ANS Motorsport, Tradexus is Thomas Pompidou, son of Xavier Pompidou, in fourth place, and fifth Marta Garcia Lopez for Petra Gold ahead of M Racing's August Terbo, one of our podium finishers yesterday. So in JS P4 it was Team Virage's car number 14 that won yesterday from M Racing's August Terbo, driving solo, and the number 1 Team Virage car that leads the field now were in third position.
So yeah, in line astern almost now. That's a winning car from yesterday, starts 13th today.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a long haul for them to repeat that performance. All sorts of shenanigans in both classes.
And in fact, the winning car in JS2R starts 10th of 12 cars in JS2R, the number 29 Pegasus Racing car. So, safety car is back in the pit lane. And we go green for the first time here at Spa-Francorchamps, still weaving to build heat into the tyres to make sure that you don't overshoot at La Source. And Marta Garcia in the dark blue car just ahead of the M Racing machine, turns in 5th position ahead of August Turbo.
Big lock up there from one of the cars in the group ahead of this, 3 wide as they come down this time towards Rouge.
At 69, the car, Dominique Bastien, losing out. He's been passed by 4 cars. There's trouble at La Source in JS2R. Also saw the M Racing car going by Marta Garcia. Okay, here's a replay, and this is the 88.
It was Marcus Terkelsen took a bit of a lunge and a risk, and it's not paid off. He's dropped back to the rear of the field with a little bit of damage as well.
So there's August Turbo with the pink and blue. There's Marta Garcia with the blue and yellow. And right behind is car number 9, another one of our potential front runners, the ANS Motorsport of Aegerter, Arthur Aegerter, trying to find a way through. So Simone Bianco is leading at the moment, but right behind, in the middle of the field, 29, is Kasparis Vingilis. This blue and white Pegasus car finished in 3rd place yesterday.
Yeah, the leader race, by the way, Brendan McCoggin is away, just half a second clear. It's tussling JS2Rs a little further back.
I beg your
pardon. Is our race winner.
He didn't finish in 3rd place yesterday. He was in 3rd place midway through, but Kasparis Vingilis actually, although he was second at the line, won the race because the first car over the line had a time penalty. So car number 29, that blue car, was our race winner. Here is our lead battle-o, and Brandon McCoggin being caught by Simone Riccitelli.
Yeah, this after what was not a great race for the number 7 car yesterday. It came into the day equal on points.
Battle for 12th, generally Oiselle, car number 50 being passed on the way up the hill. The Alley Racing car with the yellow highlights. In fact, Jeremy losing 2 places in the Les Deux Arbres car because Victor Aegerter went by as well as Linus Helleberg. Linus, one of the 2 Swiss brothers racing that Alley Racing machine, making their Le Mans debut, or Le Mans Series debut.
Swedish.
Sweden, what did I say?
Swiss.
Swiss. One of the S words. Yeah, Simone Bianco in the... another big lock-up there. Simone Bianco leading, but down the inside. Which of the Trajectus cars is that? The 83 car.
83, I think there's a double pass as well.
Yep. So that was up 2 places. Charles Lambert got ahead of Laurent Serbeau and Anthony Chibaudot. And Marta Garcia with a car in either mirror now.
14 car making that pass, and the 9 is making its way through as well. So looks like Marta not got the straight line speed at this stage. 83 car, meanwhile, with the sister car tucked in behind.
M Racing and both Trajectus cars right behind. So this is for 4th place. The M Racing car of Laurent Serbeau.
And 83 car makes the pass.
Yep.
68 drops back down to 4th place.
So Charles Lambert getting by, and right behind is 84 Jack Tabarry.
Don Bastien in the middle of that.
And again, down at Beau Rivage at Bruxelles, it's still a little misty, but for these drivers, the visibility is good enough.
They'll be able to see better than we currently can. And, it is clearing rapidly, it's certainly fair to say that. LR Motorsport, Simone Bianco, by the way, does lead in JS2R. He's got away. Marcus Terkelsen, by the way, after starting from the back, and then that clash that sent him back to the back, is making up places, but has taken a bit of a dent to his fortunes as well as the front end of his Ligier.
Yeah, he's found a couple of snakes and no ladders so far in this race. This little battle here, you see Christophe Lambert just ahead of Laurent Serbeau.
We said, didn't we, about yesterday's winner? Oh, wide there from Marta Garcia.
Yeah.
And that's put it into the clutches of the number 12 car.
Well, they had an awful lot of trouble with that JS P4 in free practice. Marta was hoping that it would fare a little better in the race. doesn't really seem to be a competitive proposition, I'm afraid.
I'm not sure that number 12 should be keeping that position. That was clearly off track. Keeping an eye too, by the way, you mentioned yesterday's race winner, the 14 car, Simon Schanz, started in, was it 13th place? He's making very rapid progress, and he's up to 6th now.
Well, Enrique Oliveira and Gabriel Doyle-Parfait have gone by Marta Garcia Lopez. She's now down to 10th place, having started in 5th place.
Schanz, by the way, putting in the fastest lap of the race, a 2:23.8 last time around.
And there's a change as Doyle-Parfait goes by Oliveira up the hill. Garcia just behind, and then behind them, Christian Garduño, the other Petrogold car, with that inquiry as to how he and the 88 managed to make contact.
It is fair.
The safety car.
Fair to say, up the inside comes the second of the Trajectors JS2 Rs, follows through the sister car on the 68. Fair to say, Marta Garcia's 33 car does not look in good fettle, does it?
No, I think she's got a real wrestle on her hands. So Jack Tabbery moving up there ahead of Laurence Herbeau. And here's an all-Pegasus battle. So this is Kasparis Vingilis. No, it's not. These are the two cars that tell, Alan Meyer and Christoph Weber. And it was Christoph Weber, the car that temporarily stopped behind the safety car, just at the bottom of the Kemmel Straight. So, Christoph Weber and Alan Meyer. Alan Meyer just ahead as they head again down into the gloom at Bruxelles. Through the Jackie X curve and down to the Double Droit de Pouhon.
This is where the action is at the moment, by the way. Lead to the race. It is Del Brenda McCocken from Simone Riccitelli. Mika Abrams sits in 3rd place with Thomas Pompidou, August Turbo, and then Simon Schanz, who is catching that group.
Yeah, Schanz, quickest car at the moment. Fastest race lap for the man in 6th position. Again, looking here at our battle around 6th place, the blue and pink Laurence Herbeau. He's now got VSF's Anthony Gibaudo behind him, and Kasparis Vingilis. Back to our lead group.
This is the 7th, 8th, 9th group.
Yeah.
This is the Trajectors car number 20 with Gabriel Doyle-Parfait aboard the car, fending off at the moment the ENS Motorsport car of Arthur Aguirre. This, though, is the lead battle. 1, 2, 3, as quick as they come there. Mika Abrams, I think, closing in here on Simone Riccitelli. He is. Yeah. Thomas Pompidou, meantime, is upping the ante. I think this could very well be a 5-car group, and we've got one of the JS2Rs diving for the pits there.
That's first of our pit callers, Team Virage's Victor Egerter.
Yeah, pit window is open.
So one of the JS P4s is in, but so that was LR Motorsports' Noah Rossler, and the Breton Racing JS P4 of Dominic Bastien is in as well. So driver changes underway. 31 minutes remaining of the race.
To remind you, by the way, Dom Bastien pitting that 69 car, 80 years old, Dom, and his ambition. Chatted to him in the off-season. Ambition into this year was to race a prototype at Le Mans, and he's already achieved that with the JS P4. Already has been part of the 24 Hours of Le Mans in the GT car twice. So the oldest ever starter and finisher of the 24 Hours of Le Mans.
Brandon McCocken still leading the race and opening up the margin over Simone Riccitelli as Mika Abrahams closes in the battle for 2nd place.
Simon Schanz has another fastest lap of the race. This is the 69 car going through the pit stop.
Yeah.
And 3-car battle here, 68, the 29 and the 18. And Kasparis Vingilis it is, and I think that has leapfrogged both.
Yeah, he had a really strong run in race 1 yesterday afternoon.
So up to 6th place.
It didn't start too well up the grid. Final car in the running order. until that puncture for the 88 car.
Tell you of the lead group, the third place car from Nick Abrams has now pitted, as has the 57 car from M Racing from 5th.
And Gabriel Dale Parfait as well, the Trajectus car, one of the Trajectus cars. So starting to see the pit stops underway. Now there's not a fuel concern, so there won't be refueling during these stops, so you don't have to worry about that. But contact between two cars coming into the pit lane. That was uncomfortable and clumsy.
That was the 83 car.
Yep, Charles Lambert
and
Sandy Goudet.
Sandy Goudet, yeah, in the 75 car, the M Racing car. Let's see this again. Now, I have to say, that's on Cindy.
I think so. I'm afraid if you're coming into the pit lane from La Source, you want to be coming tight. Was that the M Racing car? Don't think that was an M Racing car, was it?
It is.
Is it?
75 is it? It's just not the regular
not in
pink.
their M Racing colours, yeah.
So Cindy, I'm afraid, rather wider than the 83. Charles Lambert expected it to be.
Yes, I'm not entirely certain that Charles Lambert was planning to come into the pit lane there.
I think
I think Charles was making a pass down the inside and then got knocked into the pit lane effectively.
So good proportion of the field already on pit lane, waiting for the lead battle to make its way there. Simone Riccitelli, by the way, is dropping away from Brendan McCucken and is falling into the clutches of Thomas Pompidou, who has caught the LR Motorsport car for second. Keeping an eye on exactly where they sit, but they are right together, finishing the lap now. It's the fastest lap of the race to Thomas Pompidou, and he is right with the second place car. Meantime, this is the 3 and the 81.
Now, that's not a position battle. Noah Rosser has come out of the pit lane. The 81 car has not yet stopped.
Two cars, by the look of it, being held at pit exit.
Okay.
In comes the leader, meantime.
Might be.
Brendan McCucken into the pits and giving up the seat, as is Simone Riccitelli, as is Thomas Pompidou, and Simon Kranz. He pits from 4th place. What a run from him.
Yep.
What's been a short stint. Was it 13th?
Oh, trouble at the bus stop.
That's the two. That is the two Trajectus cars, is it not?
No, the JS2, the green and the white car, which is the it's Daniel Dalakayan.
It's a car that's
41, the VF Sports car.
Car that's just come. So it's the 80. It was the 81.
Yeah. And the green-white car is Daniel Dalakayan, isn't it?
So this is the incident you saw from afar. That was Dalakayan up the inside, hitting. Well, the other car was already off.
All three outbraked themselves, didn't they?
It's all a bit forward, wasn't it?
That's the problem of watching the car in front rather than watching the racetrack.
Now, it would seem that
oh dear,
race controller as perplexed as we are by what was happening at pit exit. Under investigation, cars slowing at pit exit.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's some confusion about a light.
Yeah, may have been.
So
now with cars coming in and out of the pit lane, drivers fresh and drivers who have not yet stopped, then everybody has now stopped though, then you're getting all sorts of odd combinations. There's Team Virage's Brendan McCucken.
Well, it's the car that Brendan brought in.
Yes,
it's now going to be leaving. There's the 7 car. That's the de facto lead gap.
Well, that's considerably less than what it was.
And away we go.
Brandon handing over to Sebastian Corpeng.
Pietro Ferri it is aboard the number 7 car. Vincent Boutellier leaves aboard the 19.
Pietro Ferri had a bit of an incident-filled race yesterday afternoon. Incident-filled stint. But that is first and second, half a second apart. and 19 Vincent Boutellier, you can just see in the background of the shot. So that's your top three. Sascha Kopeng needs to bed himself in very quickly here.
Will tell you, by the way, we're going to have a couple of cars, I think, in a degree of trouble. I'll talk about that once things calm down. There's all sorts of things going on with some oddness on pit stop times, and a number of teams are short on their pit stop.
93 Andre Duna, having taken over from Christian Garduño, and that car again subject to an investigation from the time behind the safety car. Behind them, 57 M Racing's Auguste Turbo. And so this is the battle for 7th and 8th. And that appears to have changed hands. Turbo was in 7th, now down in 8th.
Indeed. So pit stop reference time. So it's a
and now back up to 7th.
Indeed. It's a compulsory pit stop of 130 seconds. So 2 minutes and 10 seconds for the Ligier European Series here at Spa. And I'm afraid Petrogold have got it wrong. Both those cars well short. Scott Marsh is out in 6th, but he is a full 10 seconds short on his pit stop time. And the sister car, now in the hands of Andre Duna, in 8th position, is 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
2 minutes 6 seconds stop as
That's
well,
I think,
from
car.
LA Racing.
Yeah.
And a 2 minute 7 stop in JS2 R.
Breton Racing.
Another JS P4 car, Breton Racing. Yeah, so 4 cars potentially. No, 4 cars potentially under the minimum time. LR Motorsport
Got it bang on.
2 minutes 10 seconds exactly. Now we don't get hundreds or thousands, but that's pretty impressive stuff. And that's what's put them right on the tail of the leader. Meanwhile, nose to tail, tail to nose, these 2 Petrogold cars, Scott Marsh ahead of Andre Duna.
That is going to change position to 93 from the 33, but I'm as certain as a person can be that both these cars have got a hefty penalty to come.
Andre Duna goes ahead of Scott Marsh.
This means while JS2R, the 29 car ahead of the 83, and the 83 car continues to make good progress. This is the battle for 5th place.
There's been a change in fortunes at the head of JS2 R as well, because the VSF Sport car, the green and white car of Daniel Dalakayan, came in sort of 4th, 5th, 6th, and Antonin Bernard is now leading JS2R in that car from the car that was the leader that started from pole position, Simone Bianco. He's driving solo, so he stays in the car, but he's in 2nd place at the moment, 4 tenths back. And here is another tight little tussle in JS2R.
That's the switch with the 83 car going ahead. We had a quick shot there of the 99 car. Running 11th place, Arnaud Malizia, after what can only be described as a drama for them on lap 1 yesterday, with the car breaking away, coming up towards Radion, and then gripping and terrifyingly thrown across the track in front of the entire pack and missing everything. The flip side, by the way, is we watch the battle here between the 41 and the 83 with the pit stops, are the teams that drop time, and 2 notables there. Auguste Turbo is one of them, 10 seconds longer than the M Racing 57 car needed to be, and that's put that car off the back of that lead group. And the other car is the Trajectus number 20 car, now with Nick Ellis at the wheel, and that car 14 seconds longer than the bogey time, and that has hurt their push, so Nick is now going to have to get a hurry up on.
Well, this is the battle for 3rd place now in JS2R. The 2 Trajectus cars, the white cars with the sort of bronzy highlights, and slipping through is car number 29. And that was started by Kasparis Vingilis. Jordan Meyer, the French driver, takes over. He started it yesterday. Vingilis finished the race, but Meyer now moves up to 4th place.
Indeed.
So he's ahead of Christophe Lambert.
Yeah, Trajectus Motorsport, the team of Benoit Treluet, the 3-time, I think, Le Mans winner.
Charles Lambert. Christophe Lambert is the actor. Charles Lambert. And that battle continues to rage on. A little further back, is car number 3, and this is Andrea Fritza, who is in the car started by Noah Rosser, and battle for position here. 33, the Petrogold car of Scott Marsh, being harassed by ASP's Luis Carlos Perez Caballo.
Give you an idea, by the way, of the damage the lengthy pit stop has made to Trajectors Motorsports. Nick Ellis is at the other end of the Kemmel Straight as that pair make their way through. And that car was battling away inside the top 10 before the pit stops.
Ooh.
Was a little over-ambitious, and
that's quite a lot over-ambitious. Car number 3, Andrea Fritza. It went up 1 and sort of down 2 there. This is a 4-way battle now.
Well, that helped Marcus Terkelsen to grab 2 places in 1,
yep,
with the 2 of them tussling away behind, in front of him, now behind, the 75 and the 3. And Terkelsen says, thank you very much, I'll take those 2 positions, and away he goes.
And M Racing's Lawrence Herbeau, who lost time in the pit lane, is right with them now. But you're right, Marcus Terkelsen has squeezed by and is racing away quickly.
Well, he's got 19 minutes, Terkelsen. He's made up, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places since the start of this race. After contact in the safety car queue, this is the 19 and the 14. Right. Vincent Boutellier under pressure from Alex Gardner for what is 4th place.
Gardner goes through for 3rd place now. So Alex Gardner taking 3rd place from Victor Boutellier, and here is a similar battle.
Yep, it's a virage on other car battle. First with Sebastian Corpeng still under pressure from Pietro Ferri. Alex Gardner now ahead of Vincent Boutellier and will try to do what he can to close the gap to the lead pair.
Well, that can only help his teammate, can't he? Actually, Perry is dropping away from Corpeng. Here's our leader, Antonin Bernard, still keeping his nose in front, just about.
So, yeah, 41 for VSF Sport. Anthony Bernard leading the way in JS2R from Simone Bianco. Gap is 10ths still. And that is the Le Desarbes car of Jeremy Loisel trying to close in. The JS P4 in the background there, number 50 car. This is for position.
Oh, what a big lock-up from the leader, and that leaves him vulnerable indeed to attack. Now, you can sort of block the exit there, and he did, but Simone Bianco in 2nd place, now right with our race leader in JS2R.
And the 41 car, as he goes up the inside, and he's going to take that position, I think.
Yeah.
41 car already under investigation for contact at turn 18, just a few minutes ago, and now has got not only lost position, but he's also going to have to deal with the challenge from behind from a quicker JS P4 car as he tries to get back onto terms with the new race leader in JS2R, Simone Bianco.
Well, Jeremy Loisel driving solo in that Le Desarbes car, and this is
the contact we're talking about. This under investigation for. And
this was all 3 out braking themselves.
Yeah, that was certainly an error from the 41 car, but the question is, would the other car have made the corner? I think the answer is he would not.
Absolutely not. And yeah, that I think that was a racing error, certainly not willful.
But I think both of them were kind of almost suckered into it by the car ahead having done exactly the same.
Totally and utterly. Absolutely watching the moving device in front, not paying attention to where you were on the track. And it's an easy mistake to make. I mean, we've all done it. Whoa! This is
it's retaken the lead.
Switcheroo at the top of the hill.
For about 3 seconds.
Yeah. Down the inside, unfortunately, you've got to be very close. Now then, top 3 are very much closer. Alex Gardner is really closing in on the 2nd place car, Pietro Ferri, and that is only going to help his own teammate in the other yellow-nosed Virage car, Sebastian Corpeng, our race leader, because Ferri has been looking to attack, but with Gardner now in the danger zone, that's going to be very much more difficult. So Pietro Ferri needs to get it done now if he's going to do it at all.
He's fully well aware of that, isn't he?
And too late.
Came into this weekend equal championship leaders and did not finish yesterday, so need as many points as they can claw back to salvage their weekend.
Now, I would suggest that Alex Gardner thinks this race is his for the winning.
I think so. He's got the pace, hasn't he?
Yeah, because he's quicker than his teammate who leads. He's also quicker than Pietro Ferri.
He's got a good run there, and he's going to try to go to the inside towards Pouon. Too much to the inside. And Ferry's going to have to be careful here to avoid accusations of blocking. One move, remember, and that's one.
Yeah.
Not quite so sure it's the same coming down to Pouon.
No, definitely. The stewards will have their hackles will have been raised. Here's the M Racing car number 68 rather, Laurence Herbeau.
Yeah, this is the battle for 8th position in JS2 R. Top 3 separated by just about a second. Keeping an eye on battles developing behind.
Nathan Houet in the 75 car. That's another M Racing entered car, just not in the black, blue and pink that we associate with M Racing in pretty much every category they're racing. Side by side, down into Eau Rouge. Nathan Houet on the inside, decides that discretion is the better part of valor there. So through goes Laurence Herbeau. And here comes the challenge for second place. Alex Gardner looking to go the long way around the outside at La Source now. Does he brake earlier and cut the line? No, he tries to go around the outside, and that leaves him vulnerable to the biff, which he is given. Now, he does not know what's coming around the corner, Alex Gardner, so he's...
that's a horrible position. It's cost him dear, it's cost him the race.
I mean, it really has. Unfortunately, any hope of a podium now long gone. We've got 13 minutes remaining. Might not even finish in the top 10 at this rate, although he does get the car going once more. Out accelerates our drone pilot, but right behind, you've got car 33, Scott Marsh, closing in on him.
Goes to the outside, chooses not to do the undercut here.
Yeah, contact between the two cars. The car on the inside, Pietro Ferri.
And he's damaged.
Yeah.
Ferri's got damage.
Yeah,
he's got a puncture, left rear
puncture. Well, that was left rear to right front.
Well,
Ferri chose not to leave racing room, and unfortunately, he also is not surviving that contact. So,
confirmation, by the way, that cars 9, 33, 48, 69 and 93 all under investigation for pit stop time.
Which means they're going to get a penalty. Well, the VSF Sport car of Maxime Aparicio now making its third pit stop. You can see at the bottom of the timing screen, it's in the pit at the moment. So
it's a change, by the way, there for 13th place between the Breton racing car of Marius Christensen goes ahead of Emil Hellberg. But that unfortunateness, should we call it that?
Yeah.
No further action, by the way, for the race, the previous race leader in JS2R, Delican, for that contact at the bus stop. So
no, I think that was...
it's messy, was what it was.
Yeah, messy from all three drivers, and yeah...
That issue, by the way, between the second and third place cars has effectively handed a hatful of points to the 6.
That's Ferri, that's Ferrius and Pietro Ferri coming in with a puncture.
Trying to get back. This has been a disastrous weekend for LR Motorsport.
Yeah.
Absolute disaster. They came into this weekend equal on points and trouble for the 81.
Yep, this is our race leader, Simone Bianco.
Is that the rear has
come adrift.
That is, I think, a suspension issue for that car.
Definitely. Unintentional rear wheel steering with one wheel.
Is that a result of that earlier contact with the 41?
Possible. Well, this is what caused the puncture for car number 7. It was actually not, it was rear to rear.
Yeah.
That's how parallel they were. So heading in is Pietro Ferri, and as you can see here, not making the bus stop.
Alex Gardner, by the way, 26 seconds back from the lead as a result of that turnaround. This
Well,
is
he
our...
is at least still going, which Pietro Ferri is not.
This is our rather battle-scarred race leader in JS2R.
Yeah, Anthony Bernard, and he's now got a 7-second advantage over Charles Lambert in the Trajectus car in second. Jordan Meyer third for Pegasus. And in the main class, Vincent Boutellier, the man who set the fastest lap earlier on, is in second. And ANS, this is the battle for second. This is Boutellier and Faramond. So Faramond started on pole yesterday.
This has got significant championship potential here for the number 6 car. They are collecting a lot of points this weekend.
As long as he doesn't do anything silly at this stage. A little further back, this is Alex Gardner recovering at 1 place from Luis Perez Cabello.
Yeah, he's just gone through the first sector with a purple sector.
Well, that's up to 6th.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, you know, that it could have been a lot worse. I'm not quite sure what happened there to the Trajectus car. Let's take a look. Oh,
That's
dear.
what happened. That's another position recovered, by the way, for Marcus Terkelsen.
What's the Belgian for overcooked? Method anglaise, perhaps. That was, oh dear, that zigged when it should have zagged and then zagged again when it should have been zigging. So
Terkelsen's day is getting better and better. 9 minutes to go, and what's left to recover there? He's got a chunky gap to bridge to get to a podium position, but it's not out of kilter.
Oh, dear.
7 car with still damage,
Well,
has been in and out.
yeah, bits coming off left, right and centre, and that's coming back with that flapping rear wheel.
Car has been in the pits for a tyre change after the puncture with the contact with the 14.
Here's the battle for second place then. Vincent Boutellier, Etienne Faramond with a really good run out of Eau Rouge and up the Kemmel Straight. And Vincent Boutellier finds the debris, but Etienne Faramond finds the racing line, goes the long way round the outside. That's where the grip is.
Pushing on here in a championship challenge, and those are very important points for Faramond and ANS Motorsport. Looking behind as to what's going on with the other main contenders, Pietro Ferri is out of the points at the moment.
Well, Etienne Faramond carves his way past one of the Pegasus JS2Rs. They started on pole yesterday. They only finished in 6th position, but this is a much better day, up to 2nd place.
Alex Gardner, by the way, 6th place and is rapidly catching 5th. Andre Duna, 88, gets a warning flag for driving standards. Contact at turn 1 from Marcus Terkelsen. Now that will be the contact with Cindy Goudet.
Yep. Now that wasn't him though, was it?
I think
that wasn't 88, that was 83, wasn't it?
Oh, apologies.
Charles
right.
Lambert got boffed into the pit lane, so that's possibly something else. When he was passing. Here's our leader, Sebastian Corpeng, and
this is a recovered position from the number 7 car. But they've got a long way to go to get back to the top 10 here, and only 7 minutes to do it.
Well, he's not in the points at the moment, Pietro Ferri. So, and again, another bit falls off the car. He may be summoned into the pit lane for damage repairs before the end of the race at this rate. This is Fritzer and Tabarry, so this is the battle for 5th place in JS2R. Andrea Fritzer and Martin Tabarry.
Yeah, Anton Bernard is over 7 seconds clear in JS2R.
Simone Bianco in the pit lane as well in the LR Motorsport JS2R car, and that's a major hit for him. He had a great race yesterday.
Side by side, 3 and the 84. But that position is taken, or is it? Yes, just about there.
Simone Bianco in the pit lane. Yesterday he had a really good race. He was first at the checkered flag, was disqualified post-race.
Nick Ellis has finally caught Scott Marsh. Remember, this is the number 20 car that was longer in the pit stop than it could have, should have been. Lost about 14 seconds of that. Nick Ellis has spent the last several laps catching. Has now caught the 33 car.
Scott Marsh, I can see why that car was so slow there. It looked like a real handful coming down through Eau Rouge. I'm sure he and Marta Garcia have had more frights from that car than they were anticipating.
Pass made cleanly. Nick Ellis up into 8th place. It's been a hard chase.
Scott Marsh fighting with everything he's got to try and retake that position, but it's not happening for him.
Double yellows, by the way, at turn 1. I think that might have been an issue for the 28 car, but oh, that will be for someone to remove. That's exactly what that's for.
Daybreak.
Yes. We are about to get notification of a number of stop-go penalties. It is
Stop
car
and
9,
go.
33,
3 seconds stop and go.
48, 69, there was one other.
Not sure. Haven't got time for that. However, that means that the timing pylon that you're seeing in around 5 minutes, when they all start crossing the line, there's going to be people going up and down like the Assyrian Empire.
There are indeed. It is going to, by the way, give Alex Gardner another place back, because the leading car of the group that is going to have a stop and 3-second hold is the 93 car running in 5th place.
Right, well,
Cancelled stop and goes plus 3 seconds.
okay, so they, okay.
Not sure why. Well, we'll wait and see.
Indeed.
6 to the 19. So this is 2nd place. 4 minutes to go. The gap is 2.8 seconds and not coming down to Sebastian Courpeng from Ethan Tharamond. Meantime, this is
Alex Gardner, who's caught the blue and yellow car of Andre Duna, and that was really quick work from Gardner, because that's a 2.5 second margin he's pretty much picked up in 1 lap. But the JS2R in the way, so he settles back, goes, Kemmel Straight's coming, I'll get the tow here. Great exit out of Eau Rouge. Now, to prevent the counter tow, he boxes in his rival behind the JS2R. That's really good racing thinking. That's a proper racing driver's approach to that issue.
So car 9 will be getting a 3-second stop and go, so will car 33. So car 9, Arthur
Aguirre,
yeah, that car down
33, Scott Marsh.
That's in 9th place.
That's the Scott Marsh, Marta Garcia Lopez car.
Keeping an eye on who else might be on that list.
What tends to happen is you get a stop and go plus however many seconds you were short.
Yes, well, I think that's absolutely right there.
So I think that some of them will get stop and go plus longer. There we go.
48, 4-second stop and go. Car 33, 10 seconds. Waiting for 93, which is the significant one, and an unhelpful colour contrast in our...
To add to the woes of Scott Marsh and Marta Garcia, they're getting a 10-second penalty plus stop and go, so that'll be a 45-second penalty. 4 seconds to car 48, stop and go. And that was, that's Emil Hellberg. That's the LA Racing team.
And that's not the last. There will be more.
Yes. However, meanwhile, well, there's the 33 car. So tearing along is car number 14, Alex Gardner, up to 5th place now, 10 seconds behind Auguste Terbeau. So unless Auguste Terbeau gets pinged for a penalty, then he won't make that gap up in the remaining minutes. 69, picking up a penalty as well.
Yeah, that car is down in 12th place in the hands of Marius Christensen. Again, car 75, meanwhile, it's a warning flag for driving standards. Car 93, that is a significant runner. 8-second stop and go penalty. That is the car that sits at the moment in, let's have a look, 6th place.
We just saw Martin Tabarry going by Andrea Fritzer. That's for 5th place in JS2R. Fritzer with a good run though, out through Eau Rouge and over the top at Rédillon. And here we go, climbing the Kemmel Straight, where the slipstream is everything. Now, if you're in car number 84, you stay middle and leg. Do not leave the inside open, and he doesn't.
The final lap of this race, under a minute to go on the clock. Sebastian Courpeng sits pretty, 2.5 seconds clear of Tharamond and Vincent Boutellier.
Oh!
That is the 50
that?
car. That's the 50 car.
Rolling to a halt.
That's Jeremy
Loisel on the last lap of the race.
And that is about where the leader is now.
Yeah, leader has gone by him.
And I think he's got it moving again. Yellows have been removed.
Yeah,
there he is, off track.
There is your race leader, Sebastian Courpin. Etienne Faramont in second place. Vincent Boutellier will round out the podium ahead of Auguste Terbeau. Now then, Pietro Ferri and Alex Gardner under investigation for contact at turn 1. And that was the contact that left Pietro Ferri with a puncture, and Alex Gardner down in wherever he rejoined, 7th or 8th place
He's now 5th though, yep. Alex Gardner, and it's been rather more terminal in terms of the points finish for the number 7 car. Still this battle going on between the 84 and the 3.
Well, and now Laurence Herbeau is joining in as well. So here's our race leader, Sebastian Courpin, for Team Virage, heading to the checkered flag at Spa-Francorchamps. Race 2 of the weekend for the Ligier European Series goes to car number 1 from Team Virage. It was started by Brandon McCocken, who had to sit patiently behind the safety car, and Sebastian Courpin picked up the lead from the pit stops. Now the M Racing car's gone through, and okay, even more work for the stewards to do there, I'm afraid.
Yeah, the 3, the 20, and the 84 all got a little bit too close for comfort.
Jack Fabry getting turned around.
So this is 84 ahead, tried to go around the outside. There's the first contact. We're going to see at least a second. There's the second.
Andrea Fritzer in car number 3, I'm afraid, does not come out of that looking like the hero.
Well done, Sebastian Courpin. Kept his head while all around him appeared to lose theirs. Etienne Faramont and Vincent Boutellier of Team Virage number 1 from the 6 from ANS Motorsports and the 9 team from Trajectus. Here comes our race leader in splendid isolation, the number 41 car, Antonin Bernard. Will say, by the way, Marcus Terkelsen might have been done a massive favour here, just ahead of the race leaders overall as he crossed the line and has got another lap to try to get on the podium and might just do it.
Oh, and that's
the 50.
Jeremy Loisel again?
Yeah, that's the 50, trying to make his way back.
So here's our race leader then, was in the fray all the way through yesterday's race with Daniel Dalakayan, particularly in the second stint. But Antonin Bernard taking over from Dalakayan as the roles are reversed in race 2. The starting driver goes second, the second driver goes first. And this time, it looks like they have the speed to get there. They ended up with a second place result yesterday behind the eventual winners, car number 29 from Pegasus Racing.
I thought for third, by the way, with this 41 car coming home.
Bianco.
The battle for third in JS2R is really, really close. So both cars over the edge in track limits in Sector 1. But here comes our race winner, Martin Haven.
Yeah, it is car number 41. And it was a very good end to their race weekend.
But this is the battle for third place. And it's nose to tail as they came through, but it is going to be the Pegasus Racing car that makes it home in the hands of Jordan Meyer, and the gap 0.4 of a second. Well, there's the winner in JS2R. It's a slow start behind the safety car. Here is the battle coming into the bus stop. Yes. More in hope than expectation, I think, and would not have been allowed to keep that position.
No, indeed.
But a spirited attack back to a podium position.
Yeah, good effort from Marcus Terkelsen. So it is Team Virage who win it from ANS Motorsport, with Trajectus rounding out the podium in third place. Auguste Terbeau driving solo to fourth, ahead of the recovering Alex Gardner, up to fifth position at the flag. VSF, Trajectus and Pegasus complete the podium in JS2R, just ahead of Marcus Terkelsen. Again, a recovery drive from him after somehow picking up a puncture behind the safety car and dropping from pole, as it was, right to the tail of the field. Ligier European Series starting the race behind the safety car on Sunday morning here at Spa-Francorchamps, courtesy of early morning mist hanging in the trees. And after a dozen or so laps behind the safety car, the field released. From the front of it, Brandon McCocken, car number 1 for Team Virage, leading the charge from Simeone Riccitelli, LR Motorsport, and ANS's Mika Abrahams, but losing ground immediately in car number 33, Marta Garcia Lopez. And that was only to continue for that car, unfortunately, with a slightly mixed field after the qualifying session. Battles taking place all the way through. August Turbo driving solo in the M Racing car, going by Marta Garcia and starting his climb up the order. After suffering a puncture behind the safety car, Marcus Terkelsen was starting his recovery from the tail of the field, the man who should have started on pole, but spinning at La Source as the leaders gathered together, heading towards the pit stop window. Nearly 20 minutes behind the safety car meant that the starting driver's stints were necessarily fairly short. Confusion about entering the pit lane. It was car number 75, M Racing Sandy Goudet, hitting the 83 car and forcing it into the pit lane as well, perhaps outside of its team's wishes. In the second part of the JS2 R race, some confusion at the chicane, but the car started by Daniel Dalakayan and taken over by his teammate was coming up the order. Team Virage came in with the lead from Brandon McCocken and went back out with the lead for Sebastian Corpeng, and the Italian driver making no mistakes. Early on, though, he had Simeone Riccitelli's teammate Pietro Ferri right behind him in first and second position, so it was always going to be a battle. In JS2R, lots more aggressive racing from LR Motorsport Simone Bianco, but it was still the 41 car that managed to insist on the lead. Antonin Bernard having a couple of goes at doing it. And then one of the key moments in the race, Pietro Ferri on the inside, around the outside, going the second Virage car of Alex Gardner. He was turned around, rejoined in 9th, but worse news for Pietro Ferri. A left rear puncture would send him into the pit lane and drop him out of the points. And then Gardner began the recovery chase, pulling his way back up the order. Some not necessarily distinguished driving among a couple of the drivers late in the race. Off into the gravel, car number 81, the LR Motorsport car of Simone Bianco, with a damaged left rear quarter pitching him off the road. JS2R falling into the hands of VSF Sports, Daniel Dalakayan and Antonin Bernard. And a battle down for Étienne Faramont in second place, squeezing ahead of car number 19, Vincent Boutellier. Victory going to Team Virage. They led from start to finish. Brandon McCocken and co-driver Sebastian Corpeng taking the checkered flag. A dominant victory for the number 1 car. Second place went to Étienne Faramont and third to Vincent Boutellier. And even on the very final corner of the final lap, some drivers were still discovering the intricacies of getting out of the bus stop in the right direction. And the final dives in the last couple of corners. That's not going to play particularly well, I don't think, for Andrea Fritzer. It was car number 41 that came out on top. Daniel Dalakayan starting it, Antonin Bernard completing the job and winning in JS2R. And this Sunday, remembering the man who gave his name to the team, Guy Ligier, who passed away on this date just over a decade ago.
So that's the end of race 2 for the Ligier European Series. they can put away the bits ready for next time. And Silverstone, their second ever visit to the UK.
We will see you there in 3 weeks' time for Heat 5 of the Ligier European Series.
We have all our drivers. We are ready to start this prize giving ceremony for the Ligier European Series Race 2. On peut donc débuter cette remise des prix et on va commencer avec la 3e position en JS P4 pour Vincent Bouteiller, Thomas Pompidou pour l'équipe Trajectus. Thomas Pompidou, Vincent Bouteiller sur la 3e marche de ce podium. 2e place pour une équipe française également. Second place for another French team. Ethan Faramon and Mika Abrahams representing ANS Motorsport. Mika Abrahams coming from South Africa. And then the winner for the team Virage, Seb Koteng and Brandon McCogan. And we have a team representative for the team Virage as well. Le team Virage qui s'impose 2 victoires ce week-end pour le team Virage en GSP4. Seb Koteng, Brandon McCogan sont les vainqueurs aujourd'hui. Les pilotes sont sur le podium. On va pouvoir écouter l'hymne national polonais, donc de National Anthem from Poland for the team Virage. Congratulations, Team Virage, Seb Koteng, Brandon McCogan. You can take the trophy just in front of you, guys. And come all together for the picture. Please, all together, s'il vous plaît, tous ensemble pour la photo. Please, all together. Yes, sir. Please put your trophy in the air. These are our drivers on the podium for the race 2 of the Ligier European Series, the Spa Heat. 2 rounds to go. We are ready for the champagne. Vous avez des bouteilles devant vous, vous savez évidemment ce qu'il faut en faire. Let's go now for the champagne. Well done. Under the sun in Spa-Francorchamps, sous le soleil de Spa-Francorchamps, le podium de cette catégorie GSP4, podium overall. On passe maintenant au vainqueur en prom. Let's go to the prom winner in the GSP4 classification, representing the Breton Racing, Marius Christiansen and Dominique Bastien, prom winner in the GSP4. Marius Christiansen, Dominique Bastien. Marius Christiansen coming from Denmark, Dominique Bastien from the United States. Our winner in the prom classification. Well done. And the Breton Racing from Czech Republic, please take your trophy. Congrats, no champagne. Ok, you will keep it maybe for the mechanics. Je crois qu'on boira le champagne avec mécanics. Et puis, le dernier podium GSP4, celui de la catégorie AM. So, the AM winner in the GSP4 classification, coming from Sweden, representing Ale Racing, Linus and Emil Elberg. Winner again, like yesterday. Yesterday they were racing in the Michelin Le Mans Cup race as well. Ale Racing, very busy here in Spa-Francorchamps. Well done. Alors on va pouvoir aussi retrouver un représentant donc de cette équipe suédoise Ale Racing. Sweden in the Ligier European Series, and it's a win in the AM classification. After JS P4, let's go now to the JS2 R classification. On va pouvoir se tourner vers le JS2 R avec 3 équipes françaises sur le podium. 3e position pour le Pegasus Racing, Jordan Meyer and Kasparas Vingilis. So the 3rd place, sorry. Donc, et tous ensemble s'il vous plaît pour la photo, please all together for the picture. And put your trophy in the air. Vainqueur Antonin Bernard, Daniel Dalakian. Second place for Charles Lambert. The 3rd position for Jordan Meyer and Kasparas Vingilis. Well done. And congratulations to the VSS Sport team as well. Champagne. Allons-y pour le champagne maintenant dans cette catégorie JS2R. Bravo. Ah voilà, on va avoir une photo, s'il vous plaît, encore une avec Antonin Bernard et Daniel Dalakian. Plus que jamais leader du championnat. Daniel Dalakian, il va plus vite en piste que pour déboucher les bouteilles apparemment. Remarquez, c'est beaucoup plus important quand on veut faire une carrière de pilote. Allons-y, messieurs et madame, pour les vainqueurs de la catégorie JS2R, bien vu. Et le plein de points, une 2e placière, une victoire aujourd'hui. Catégorie JS2R Pro-Am maintenant. Et on va accueillir une équipe française, mais un duo de pilotes belges, père et fils, Jack et Martin Taberry. Plutôt Martin et Jack, puisqu'on dit père et fils. Martin et Jack Taberry pour l'équipe Trajectus, vainqueur au Pro-Am. So the Belgian duo, father and son, Martin and Jack Taberry, winner in the JS2R Pro-Am classification. Et un représentant également de Trajectus donc. Bravo, vous pouvez prendre les trophées. Congratulations to you, bravo à Martin et Jack. Est-ce qu'on ouvre les bouteilles? Oui, allez, à domicile, on va les ouvrir. Champagne. Voilà, bravo à vous, bravo à toute l'équipe Trajectus également. Et puis autour de Benoît Tréluyer. Et puis on termine avec le podium de la catégorie âme en JS2 R. Et on va accueillir, comme hier, donc Christophe Weber sur ce podium avec l'équipe Pegasus. On va avoir Julien Schell pour représenter lui-même son équipe. Voilà, Christophe Weber donc, et l'équipe Pegasus Racing, vainqueur en âme, sous le regard de Bibendum, évidemment toujours là quand il faut encourager les concurrents de la Ligier European Series. Allons-y pour la photo avec Pegasus Racing. Merci à vous pour votre attention dans le cadre de ce week-end de Ligier European Series. La suite passera par Silverstone et puis Portimao, bien évidemment. Thanks to all of you for being with us for the Ligier European Series. Round 4 here in Belgium, in Spa-Francorchamps. 2 rounds to go, one in Great Britain at Silverstone, the other one in the south of Portugal at Portimao. Thank you, have a good end of the season and see you soon.